Deep in the mountains of the Ozarks, there is a hotel that has been a fixture of Eureka Springs, Arkansas since 1886. The hotel has had, honestly, a wild history of owners and purposes over the years. Some even call it one of the most haunted hotels in America. Welcome to the video. I am Olio, and today I will be telling the spooky story of the Crescent Hotel. Our story starts in the town of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, a town in northern Arkansas that is honestly interesting enough to be its own entire video. Native Americans have lived in the region of the town for hundreds of years. According to hotel staff, the Native Americans believed the springs had healing powers, particularly the Basin Spring, which is located inside Basin Spring Park inside the city. Eventually, the area was found by Americans. One such American was Dr. Alva Jackson. By 1856, he had heard stories of the magical healing properties of the Basin Spring. So, he began selling the water to the greater region. Over the years, the city grew substantially and many tourists and permanent residents started coming to town. With all the interest in the region, it was only a matter of time before the government saw the potential of the area. In the late 1800s, the Arkansas governor set out to purchase the land and get it connected to the rest of the country. Before then, the only way to access Eureka Springs was by foot. Enter the Frisco Rail Company. They laid tracks to Eureka Springs, Arkansas from Joplin, Missouri in 1883. Now that the region was prime for tourists, a large hotel was built to accommodate the visitors, specifically the wealthy elite. For the not-so-small fortune of $294,000, which would be well over $10 million today, the hotel was finally built. The resort officially opened in 1886. The hotel was just not your normal hotel. No. This was a hotel for the rich of the rich. In fact, this was a resort. This was considered one of the nicest resorts west of the Mississippi at the time. The hotel had such wonderful features such as Edison light bulbs, steam heating, electric service bells in every room, separate parlors for men and women, a grand dining room with live orchestra performances, and a massive veranda overlooking the Ozark Hills. The hotel initially had 72 rooms, and the cost per night ranged from $2.50 to $5, which would be around $75 to $150 today. The hotel did not run year-round, as it was just a seasonal hotel. I guess many people were not interested in staying in the Ozarks during the cold winter months. Anyways, to better use the hotel, the owners decided to open up the hotel during the rest of the year to serve as a women's college. For just $375 a semester, student lodging was included with their education. Supposedly, according to hotel staff, this is when the first time guests began reporting paranormal activity. The thriving hotel did not last because during the Great Depression, the hotel was running out of money, and soon it would be sold to a man that would shape the history of this hotel forever. The next chapter of the hotel starts in 1937. This is by far the most infamous time in the hotel's history, and where much of today's haunted roots stem from. In 1937, Norman Baker, a millionaire radio host, vaudeville performer, and peddler of fake medicine, purchased the hotel to use as a hospital. And I use the word hospital with huge quotations because this was a fraudulent hospital. He claimed all who would come to his miracle hotel would be cured of their cancer. He had a formula that he would administer to patients. People would come all over to be cured of their ailments. This man was no doctor. In fact, he had distrust of actual doctors, calling them conmen and thieves. Obviously, his miracle formula was not curing anyone. Many people likely died in the hotel because of these faulty treatments. It got so bad that Norman actually built an extension on the hotel to keep all the patients who were near death away from the others so they could not hear them. Norman was a big believer in one's mental energy being a healing factor, so he told people who were dying that perhaps they were not believing hard enough to be healed. Norman did many awful things during this time. To prove that his miracle worked, he would save the tissue samples from the cancer patients and display them in jars, which is funny, given that he also claimed the hospital did not do any surgeries. Cancer cured, no surgery needed, as he would claim. Where did he get these samples? More than likely, bed sores, though some of the jars do have samples that have reported to potentially be lung tissue, which would have come from his makeshift morgue. Speaking of, that was one of the many alterations he made to the hotel. Once a kitchen in the basement of the hotel, he turned into a morgue, illegally, I mind you, to dissect dead patients from his hotel. Norman's era running the hotel came to an abrupt end in 1940, when he was arrested. Of course, he wasn't arrested for his terrible practices. No. He was arrested for mail fraud. Why did he get arrested for mail fraud? Well, it's because he's been using the U.S. Postal Service to spread false information. How long did he serve in prison for all the innocent lives taken? A whopping 3 years and 3 months. Karma did come for Norman Baker, as he did end up with cancer, liver cancer to be specific. Did he take his miracle formula? No. This ended up taking his life in 1958. Following Norman's ownership, the building did return to being a hotel. The hotel operated through various owners since 1940. The hotel did not embrace its paranormal reputation until the current owners, Marty and Elise Ronick. They bought the hotel in 1997. Since then, the hotel has started doing haunted ghost tours as well as openly inviting guests to share their paranormal experiences. Today, the hotel is open to the public. Some of the rooms are considered more active than others. In fact, if you wanted to stay in one of the more haunted rooms, say room 218, you must reserve the room way in advance, especially if you want to try to stay in it on Halloween night. The grounds of the hotel are actually quite beautiful. The top of the hotel has a restaurant and bar. We did not eat here during our visit, but the balcony looks like it could have amazing views. Out back, there are games, a pool, and grounds to relax in. Across the street is a beautiful Catholic chapel, St. Elizabeth's Chapel. It occasionally holds services and has a small gift shop. While not officially owned by the hotel by no means, it has historically and visually been connected to the hotel for years. Unfortunately, when we went to visit, the chapel was not open. As mentioned before, the hotel does offer ghost tours. The tour itself costs about $30 per person, which I think is a fair price given the length and contents of the tour. The tour starts you at the top of the hotel, where you are given an overview of the town of Eureka Springs, as well as a brief history of the hotel. You are then escorted around the hotel, mostly sticking to public areas, where you are told stories from the infamous past of the hotel. I have to mention the hotel cats. There are 2 cats that call this hotel home, Jasper and Ozzy. As many of the workers will attest, these cats are in fact the ones in charge. If you want to hear more about the specific hauntings, I would strongly encourage you to visit yourself. Anyways, what do you all think? Have you stayed at the Crescent Hotel? Are you from the area? I would love to hear what you'd have to say. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe so I can keep making more content like this. I will see you next month. But I guess that leaves just one question left unanswered. Is the hotel actually haunted?